Welcome to US Coins Hub, where history meets hidden value. Today, we uncover a rare piece of American heritage, a coin that tells a story, holds mystery, and could be worth far more than its face value. So slow down, listen closely, and step into the timeless world of rare and valuable US coins. Let's dive into today's video. Top 1. Today, we're talking about a coin that almost everyone has seen. Many have spent without a second thought, and a few lucky people may still have hiding in a drawer somewhere. This is the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1967, a coin with a story far bigger than its size and a value that can shock even seasoned collectors. At first glance, the 1967 Washington quarter looks ordinary. It carries the familiar portrait of George Washington, calm and dignified, just as it appeared on millions of quarters before and after it. But looks can be deceiving in the world of coin collecting, and this particular year sits at a very unusual moment in American monetary history. During the mid-1960s, the United States was facing a serious coin shortage. Rising silver prices caused people to hoard older silver coins, and the government had to act fast. By 1967, quarters were no longer made from silver, but from a copper-nickel-clad composition. To discourage hoarding and speculation, the U.S. Mint even removed mint marks entirely for several years. That decision alone makes the 1967 quarter stand out, because every coin from this year looks the same on the surface, regardless of where it was struck. This was a time of transition, pressure, and massive production. Millions upon millions of quarters were struck quickly to meet public demand. When coins are produced at such speed, mistakes are almost inevitable, and that's where the real magic begins for collectors. What makes certain 1967 Washington quarters rare and incredibly valuable is not the date itself, but the tiny imperfections and anomalies that slipped through quality control. Some coins were struck off-center, leaving part of the design missing and instantly catching the eye of error collectors. Others showed double die errors, where letters or numbers appear doubled due to a misaligned die during the striking process. These doubling effects can often be seen in the word Liberty, the date, or the motto, and under magnification they are unmistakable. There are also examples with clipped planchets, where a piece of the coin's edge is missing because the metal blank was improperly cut before striking. Even more intriguing are rare transitional errors and wrong planchet strikes, where a quarter may have been struck on a planchet intended for another denomination. These types of errors are extremely scarce and highly sought after, especially when authenticated and graded by professional services. Condition plays a massive role as well. While most 1967 quarters were heavily circulated, a very small number survived in extraordinary, nearly flawless condition. Coins with sharp details, blazing luster, and no signs of wear can command huge premiums. When a rare error is combined with exceptional preservation, collectors take notice, auctions heat up, and prices can rise dramatically. For coin lovers, this quarter is exciting because it proves that rarity isn't always about age or silver content. Sometimes it's about history, circumstance, and the human element of minting coins under pressure. The 1967 Washington quarter represents a unique chapter in American currency. And for collectors who appreciate errors, varieties, and hidden treasures, it's a coin worth studying closely. The next time you come across an old quarter, don't dismiss it too quickly. Look carefully at the date, examine the details, check the edges, and consider its condition. What seems like spare change could be something far more special. And now, here is the moment that truly captures attention. Certain extremely rare error examples of the 1967 Washington quarter dollar, in outstanding condition and properly authenticated, have been valued as high as $87,000. Top 2, we're talking about the United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1968, a coin that looks familiar but carries hidden potential that many people never notice. The 1968 Washington quarter was born during a fascinating transition period in U.S. coinage. Just a few years earlier, American quarters were still made of silver, but by the late 1960s, rising metal prices had completely changed the composition of everyday coins. By 1968, quarters were fully copper-nickel clad, and the U.S. Mint was focused on producing massive quantities to keep up with demand. Unlike the previous few years, mint marks returned in 1968, adding another layer of interest for collectors who enjoy studying small details. But on the front of the coin, George Washington's portrait appears strong and timeless, symbolizing leadership and stability during a decade full of social and economic change. On the reverse, the eagle with outstretched wings represents national pride and resilience. At first glance, it's a design collectors know well, but for those who look closer, the 1968 quarter can reveal something far more exciting. What truly makes certain 1968 Washington quarters rare and valuable lies in minting errors and exceptional condition. During this period of high-speed production, mistakes happen more often than many realize. Some quarters were struck off-center, causing part of the design to shift toward the edge or even disappear. These errors instantly stand out and are highly prized by collectors who specialize in unusual strikes. Another sought-after feature is the double die error. This occurs when the coin die receives a misaligned impression, resulting in doubled lettering or numbers. On 1968 quarters, doubling can sometimes be seen in the date, the word Liberty, or the motto. Under magnification, these details can transform an ordinary-looking coin into a serious collector's prize. There are also clipped planchet errors, where the coin has a missing curved section due to a mistake in the metal blank cutting process. Wrong planchet strikes are even rarer, involving quarters struck on metal intended for other denominations. These types of errors are especially valuable because they are difficult to find and often unique. Condition is just as important as the error itself. Most 1968 quarters were heavily circulated, meaning sharp, flawless examples are extremely scarce today. Coins that survived with full luster, crisp details, and nowhere are highly desirable. When such pristine condition is combined with a dramatic mint error, collectors pay close attention, and competition can become intense. For coin lovers, the 1968 Washington quarter is a reminder that valuable coins don't always look different at first glance. Sometimes, rarity hides in tiny details, minting flaws, and survival against decades of use. It rewards patience, curiosity, and a careful eye, making it especially exciting for collectors who enjoy the thrill of discovery. So before you overlook that old quarter in a jar or inherited collection, take a closer look. Examine the date, check the strike, and study the edges. You never know what story a small piece of metal might be waiting to tell. And now for the final reveal. Certain extremely rare 1968 Washington quarter-dollar coins, featuring extraordinary mint errors and preserved in outstanding condition, have been valued as high as $84,000. Top 3, we're turning our attention to the United States of America state quarter dollar from Mississippi, released in the year 2002. This coin may feel familiar, even ordinary, but for those who understand its story, it holds a level of intrigue that makes collectors lean in a little closer. The Mississippi State Quarter was part of the highly successful 50 State Quarters program, a series that brought history, culture, and pride to everyday pocket change. When this coin was released, it instantly stood out for its elegant and symbolic design. The reverse features 2 graceful magnolia blossoms, Mississippi's state flower, surrounded by the words, "The Magnolia State." It's a calm, refined design that reflects the state's heritage and natural beauty, while the front continues the timeless portrait of George Washington. Millions of Mississippi quarters were struck and released into circulation, and because they were modern coins, most people spent them without a second thought. Very few were set aside with care, and even fewer were closely examined for unusual features. That everyday treatment is exactly why truly rare examples of this coin are so difficult to find today. What makes certain 2002 Mississippi State quarters rare and valuable comes down to minting errors and exceptional condition. During the fast-paced production of the state quarters program, mistakes occasionally slipped through unnoticed. Some coins were struck off-center, causing the design to appear shifted and incomplete. These coins are immediately eye-catching and highly appealing to error collectors. Another exciting discovery collectors search for is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, resulting in doubled lettering or design elements. On Mississippi quarters, doubling may appear in the date, inscriptions, or even parts of the magnolia design. Under magnification, these details can turn an ordinary-looking coin into a standout collectible. Clipped planchet errors also add to the excitement. These coins are missing a curved section along the edge due to a mistake during the cutting of the metal blank. Even rarer are wrong planchet strikes, where a Mississippi quarter was struck on metal intended for another denomination. These unusual errors are scarce and highly prized because of their uniqueness. Condition plays a huge role in determining value. Most Mississippi quarters from 2002 show signs of wear, contact marks, or dull surfaces. Coins that survived with sharp details, bright luster, and no visible wear are surprisingly scarce. When a high-grade example is paired with a major mint error, it becomes the kind of coin collectors dream about owning. For coin lovers, this Mississippi State quarter is exciting because it proves that modern coins can still carry extraordinary value. It encourages collectors to slow down, pay attention to details, and truly enjoy the hunt. Every coin becomes a possibility. Every handful of change a potential discovery. The next time you see a Mississippi State quarter, don't rush past it. Take a moment to examine the design, study the lettering, and inspect the edges. What seems like simple pocket change might be hiding a remarkable story. And now for the final reveal that captures every collector's attention. Certain extremely rare Mississippi 2002 state quarter-dollar coins, featuring major mint errors and preserved in outstanding condition, have been valued as high as $80,000. We're talking about the United States of America state quarter dollar from Oregon, released in the year 2005, a coin that combines natural beauty with the thrill of rare discovery. The Oregon State Quarter was part of the famous 50 State Quarters program, a series that transformed ordinary pocket change into miniature history lessons. When this coin was released, it immediately caught attention for its stunning reverse design. It features Crater Lake, one of the deepest and most breathtaking lakes in the world, formed by a volcanic eruption thousands of years ago. The calm water, surrounding cliffs, and sense of depth made this one of the most visually striking designs in the entire series. On the front, the familiar portrait of George Washington ties the coin to long-standing American tradition. Because the state quarters program was so popular, millions of Oregon quarters were produced and released into circulation. People spent them freely, often without stopping to admire the artwork or consider their future value. Very few were preserved carefully, and even fewer were examined closely for unusual features. This everyday treatment is a big reason why rare examples of this coin are so exciting for collectors today. What makes certain 2005 Oregon State quarters rare and valuable comes down to minting errors and exceptional condition. During the intense production schedules of the state quarters program, mistakes sometimes slipped through. Some coins were struck off-center, causing the design to shift and leaving part of the image missing. These errors are instantly noticeable and highly desirable among collectors who specialize in minting mistakes. Another fascinating feature collectors search for is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, creating a doubled appearance in lettering, numbers, or parts of the design. On Oregon quarters, doubling may appear in the date, inscriptions, or details of Crater Lake itself. Under magnification, these details can dramatically change the coin's appeal and value. Clip planchet errors are also known among this issue, where a curved section of the coin is missing due to an improperly cut metal blank. Even rarer are wrong planchet strikes, in which a quarter is struck on metal intended for a different denomination. These coins are extremely scarce and immediately capture the attention of serious collectors. Condition adds another powerful layer of rarity. Most Oregon quarters from 2005 show signs of wear, contact marks, or dull surfaces from circulation. Coins that survived with sharp details, strong luster, and no visible wear are surprisingly difficult to find. When a nearly flawless coin is combined with a dramatic mint error, it becomes a standout piece that collectors aggressively pursue. For coin lovers, the Oregon State Quarter is exciting because it proves that modern coins can still hold extraordinary value. It encourages curiosity, patience, and careful inspection. Every coin becomes a potential discovery, and every detail matters. The next time you come across an Oregon State Quarter, don't dismiss it as ordinary change. Take a moment to admire the design, study the lettering, and inspect the edges. That simple habit could lead to an incredible find. And now for the final reveal that truly captures attention. Certain extremely rare Oregon 2005 state quarter dollar coins, featuring major mint errors and preserved in outstanding condition, have been valued as high as $77,000. Top 5. We're diving into the United States of America state quarter dollar from Oklahoma, released in the year 2008. This coin is a fascinating blend of history, artistry, and rare surprises that every collector should hear about. The Oklahoma State Quarter was part of the famous 50 State Quarters program, a series that turned everyday coins into mini works of art, celebrating the unique identity of each state. When it was released, the design immediately stood out. On the reverse, it features a stunning depiction of a scissor-tail flycatcher, Oklahoma's state bird, soaring above an olive branch, symbolizing peace and freedom. The coin also showcases a banner with the state motto, Labor Omnia Vincit, meaning labor conquers all things. The front, of course, bears the classic portrait of George Washington, linking modern design to the nation's enduring legacy. Millions of Oklahoma quarters were struck and released into circulation. Most were spent, exchanged, or tucked away in pocket change, without much thought to potential value. Because they were considered modern and plentiful, very few people preserved them in mint condition or carefully examined them for errors. This ordinary treatment makes truly rare examples all the more exciting for collectors today. What makes certain 2008 Oklahoma State quarters so rare and valuable lies primarily in minting errors and exceptional preservation. During the high-speed production of the state quarters program, mistakes occasionally slipped through the mint's quality control. Some coins were struck off-center, causing the design to shift and leaving part of the image cut off. These coins immediately stand out and are highly desirable to collectors who specialize in unusual strikes. Another feature that excites collectors is the double die error. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned, producing a doubled appearance in lettering, numbers, or parts of the design. On Oklahoma quarters, doubling may appear in the date, inscriptions, or even in the details of the scissor-tail flycatcher. Under magnification, these doubled features turn a normal coin into a rare collector's item. Clip planchet errors are also known for this issue, where a curved section of the coin is missing due to a miscut metal blank. Even rarer are wrong planchet strikes, where the coin is accidentally struck on metal intended for a different denomination. These kinds of errors are extremely scarce and instantly catch the attention of serious collectors. Condition plays an equally important role in value. Most Oklahoma 2008 quarters show wear, contact marks, or dulled surfaces from circulation. Coins that survived with full luster, sharp details, and no visible wear are exceptionally rare. When a flawless example is paired with a dramatic minting error, it becomes a showpiece that collectors eagerly compete for. For coin lovers, the Oklahoma State Quarter is a reminder that even modern coins can hold incredible value. It proves that rarity doesn't always come from age or precious metal content. Sometimes, it's hidden in tiny imperfections, careful preservation, and the thrill of spotting what others might overlook. So the next time you come across an Oklahoma State Quarter from 2008, take a closer look. Examine the design, inspect the edges, and pay attention to the date. That ordinary piece of change could be hiding an extraordinary story. And now for the reveal that every collector has been waiting for. Certain extremely rare Oklahoma 2008 state quarter dollar coins, featuring major mint errors and preserved in outstanding condition, have been valued as high as $73,000.